I feel like abs are just misunderstood. I'm gonna go over in this video what I do to make my abs look a lot better than they used to be. Cause, well, for one, I used to be 210 pounds. Now I'm below 170, and I'm starting to already see a lot of ab formation, and it's due to a couple things. So we'll go over everything. First off, I'm gonna continue my workout, and I'll kind of show it as I'm going.
Like a cow dumbbell, but you stand and you just move it around. You stay still, keep your core tight, and you move the dumbbell around. Like I said, usually like the cow dumbbells usually will work way better. However, I don't have that as of right now. So I have just this, and this works just as well. And if for some reason you don't have one of these at your crib, literally just use anything that has a bit of weight and just move it around. Make sure it's easy to move around with your hands though. But there's also 2 other workouts that I did as well before that are very, very crucial, and there's certain ways that I do them, and they're 2 pretty simple exercises. But the main reason I did them is because there's one exercise that I can't do because it involves my chest, and if you guys don't know, I did pull my chest recently from doing too deep of push-ups or too fast of push-ups. Either way, push-ups was the main cause of the issue. However, we're gonna go over the other 2 exercises that I did. So I did crunches, and the thing in specific with crunches, especially what I've been learning from a bunch of other people, is you want to have an arch in your back, sort of. So some people will have like a cushion to where it curves up a little bit. Some people use a towel. I personally just arch my back, no diddy, and I make sure my shoulders are off the ground, but I don't go too far up. And if you do it correctly, you'll feel it so strongly in your core. Usually you will feel it in the certain area. And one thing I've seen in specific that a lot of people are realizing or not realizing when it comes to your workouts and when it comes to core in specific is you sometimes work out more with your legs and like the lower area instead of your core. And the whole point obviously is to grow the core and to like strengthen your abs, and you're not able to do that if you're using other stuff to help out the workout. So another thing was leg raises. Leg raises, you'll feel them. Like you'll feel them in your lower abdomen, and that's the thing I've been worried about the most is my lower abdomen. Obviously, I did have wings yesterday, so my abs do not look like the best, I will not lie. But I mean, as you guys can see here, I am starting to get some type of formation of abs. And obviously this is also can be due to low body fat. Low body fat is a very crucial thing when it comes to abs, but I'll go into that in a little bit of time because growing the core and growing the abdomen muscles is super important when it comes to having abs, because you can be skinny, but you also might not have the ab muscles because you just didn't grow them. So that second one I just talked about, the leg raises, are super important, as well as there's one that I did yesterday in my video yesterday because I wasn't able to finish one of my workouts. Actually, I wasn't even able to finish that workout as well, but it's leg raises with the pull-up bars. You're hanging and then you move your legs up. And this is super important, but also a little bit risky. So I say be careful. I say risky because it is easy to injure yourself if you go to failure. If you go to failure on this workout in specific, you will really, really hurt your spine. So when you're trying to replicate these workouts, just be very, very careful when it comes to it. But I do highly recommend the leg raises on the pull-up bar since it is super, super helpful. Also, make sure that you're taller than the pull-up bar that you're using. My pull-up bar that I was using in specific hang either like in an L shape, or I had to hold myself like that up. So just keep that in mind when it comes to doing that workout. You'll get more of a stretch if you are, I guess, either shorter or the pull-up bar is longer. So that's the mosquito that bit me yesterday. Sorry. Anyways, the big thing as well is low body fat percentage. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know my specific low body fat percentage, but I do know from looking at my stomach and from seeing on the scale, I've lost a lot of weight. So when I first started my journey working out, I was 210 pounds and 5'9". This was when I was in 10th grade. So I was a bit of a youngin', I was barely in puberty, right? Like my voice was changing, but that was about it. After about a year, I lost about, I think it was like 10, 20 pounds because I would typically skip some type of lunch and I just play basketball. And honestly, sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes you do need to fast in order to try and drop some weight. This mosquito loves to be in this video, by the way. Shout out mosquito. But okay. However, fasting is very,
It's a very difficult thing to talk about because some people I definitely think should fast, but I also think there's times where you shouldn't be fasting because some bunch of protein and healthy things in your other food, because if you're fasting for one of your meals, you still need to have good meals. I studied the big benefits of fasting. I do fasting because of religious reasons, so you know, I can't really speak about that fully about fasting, but if you want me to study that, make a video about it, let me know. But I do want to talk about more on what you can do to kind of cut down the lower body fat that I did personally, because as someone who's a chubby kid that needed to cut the weight, I was able to figure out a bunch of key tips to still enjoy some of the sweet foods and be disciplined, but to also lose a bunch of weight. I said I had a bunch of wings last night, but I still want to see how much I weigh because I believe I'm still below 170 pounds, which I haven't been that since high school. Hop off the scale, not even BBN, I'm a 0.4. 169.2 pounds. Look, when I first moved to Arizona, I went up all the way to 192 pounds, which I haven't been like that for a really long time. And I realized the big problem was the fast food I was eating and the amount of crazy sweets that I was having. And I didn't have it in moderation. I had it way too much. So some things I had to do in order to change that was to simply almost fully cut out fast food. Like, don't get me wrong, I still have fast food from time to time, but I have it more so once or twice a week and not once to twice a day. Like, I had fast food that much. And it's such a significant difference because not only does it make your body feel better and obviously have a lower body fat percentage, but more so you'll get less brain fog, whatever, as well as your face will look better and it'll clear up a bit more. I do say that personally, I don't really eat vegetables too often. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll have carrots and corn, but like, I don't push vegetables because I'm not a person that eats vegetables too often. However, if you like that, go for it. I'm a big person on fruits and good protein. So like, I have collagen powder that I use in my smoothies. I eat bananas, strawberries if they're here, apples, grapes, watermelon. I just tried pineapple recently, that's really good. So I eat a bunch of fruits, which is very good. And some sweet snacks that I have in specific will be like rice cakes. Rice cakes are really low calories. Plus, rice cakes don't have milk, which is a nice thing to add into something. Sometimes I'll have them with syrup on them, with maybe cut of bananas or just syrup. Or maybe I'll even put a little bit of Nutella on it. Now, for some reason, there is dairy in Nutella, but so far I haven't had problems with Nutella. So I'm gonna still use Nutella. I don't put too much on the rice cake, but I still put enough on it to where there's some flavor on it. Plus, it's a nice snack to fill you, and it's really low calories. Now, a big talk on calories I think is super important is go onto a website where you can kind of calculate how much calories you need for your weight, because there's really good calculating apps or websites that you can use. You can put in your height, your weight, as well as you can put in your age, and it kind of just like, it tells you how much calories you should have per day. So personally, I believe it says 2,400 for me a day, but of course you want to kind of cut that down a couple hundred, not more than like 300 though. I think, you know what I think? I think 2,800 is crazy. I did not even know that's what was gonna say on the website. But personally, when you're trying to drop weight, just try and go a couple hundred calories down, because you don't want to go too. What is wrong with my face? Okay, the background's making my face look weird, but you get what I mean. Dropping weight isn't the hardest thing in the world. A lot of it is just discipline. You have to discipline yourself to get to the gym. You got to discipline yourself to not eat too much. God bless. Have a fantastic day. Jesus loves y'all.